All right, Erastus, I want you to stay with us. We have an interesting twist of a story that Justice Baidu, who's also our colleague, told yesterday. I want us to watch the story and listen to it. We hit the streets of Accra yesterday as well, and it will be interesting to hear from you and Roland. So I'm going to box the two of you together. We'll have a conversation on the back of this. First, let's look at this story that Justice Baidu has, and put it this way: contraceptive blues. Let's watch this. We'll be back.
I am in the home of Neloba. She's only in her mid-20s, but already has her third baby. Her children heavily malnourished. Her husband, Jagri Tali, has a first wife with whom he already has 10 children. Their story shows escalating birth rates in some communities in Ghana and how these vulnerable villages are struggling to cope. In our culture, when a woman delivers, you have to have sex with her within 3 months, he says. And it's a taboo to allow a woman to take up family planning. At the local clinic in Lipaalsi, health workers are talking community members into taking up contraceptives. The stumbling block here is cultural beliefs.
Some of the men, they don't allow their wives to do the family planning. Because of that, some of them, they usually hide and come in the night and wake you up so that you attend to them. A woman will give birth 2 months or 3 months, the woman will be pregnant again. The child is not growing well, she herself is not feeling well. So because of that, you yourself, you become frustrated.
Birth rates have fallen generally across Ghana, in part because of increased access to family planning services. Interestingly, in places like Lipaalsi, where resources to cater for population explosion are limited, the figures haven't been encouraging.
With local economies still unable to provide basic amenities for already existing numbers, any further growth may only worsen the situation. Justice Baidu, JoyNews, Lipaalsi.
From my point of view, when you listen to people, the way they use it and they have symptoms. Yeah, I once had somebody who was hypertensive and the person went in for contraceptives and it increased all the symptoms that she always felt. So I believe that contraceptives are not something that you have to rely on, but rather we should go back to our old system of keeping our bed spacing so that.
So have you in one way or the other used contraceptives?
Well, not really, not really.
Haven't you tried?
No. I wanted, but then I didn't know. Something just told me not to go in for it.
I don't fancy it because I think it has a lot of negativity than the positive it causes.
What do you make of it?
I think it's not good because everything has a side effect. So the more you continue using contraceptives, maybe the time you think you are ready, that now you don't need some, you want to give birth, maybe it has caused more harm that you won't be able to give birth again.
Contraceptive, for all I know, is used for protection by some girls. I don't do them, so I don't know much. I can't say much about it.
I think it's good because it reduces childbirth and then prevent maybe giving birth without taking care of them. Yeah, I think it's good.
So have you in one way or the other used it before?
Sure.
What makes you use it? Why do you?
Because I wasn't ready, so that's why I use it.
Contraceptives, yes. So they are very necessary, and I don't have an issue with when, let's say, my wife one day decides to use contraception.
So you actually give your wife the full backing?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Well, not any, you know, at least we need to research about it because there are complications. Some of them have its side effects. So we will sit down as a couple and then decide on the best solution, you know. And you know, we have male contraceptives. So if the only option is that me being the guy take it, then I don't have any problem. I will.
So there you have it. Family planning blues is interesting. If you look at the comments from Justice Bado's original piece and from this particular Vox, is interesting. We have a long way to go, Erastus.
Yeah.
You're a man, so Charlie, your comments are really important.
When I listened to the report, I started to think, why do we use women as receptacles? It's bad. When a woman gives birth, there should be spacing. She should get her life back, get some strength. And they are not just there to give birth. It's rather sad that in some communities we see giving birth to so many children as something that is good. They say, gee, baby survival. That's an old, archaic mentality that we should be running away from.
Yeah.
And not all the contraceptives, like I heard the people say, not all of them are good for certain people, but please go in and look for which one is good for you. And encourage your wife to do some spacing, get some strength.
You're a traditional man, so let me ask you a traditional question. Those traditional men who are like their position is their position. Some even going to the extent of going to the health facility to warn them, don't tolerate my wife. If my wife comes here, sack her. What can we do to such men?
That's primitive. Seriously primitive. Do men do those things?
Yeah.
They do?
Apparently,
these
yes.
days?
Apparently, yes.
Wow, I'll be surprised.
Yes.
I'll be surprised. But let's not encourage that. Let's give women the right to also, because they have a life.
Yeah.
In some cases, they are the breadwinners of the house. In some parts of the northern region, they work day and night with the child behind, and they fend for the home. So if you allow them to be giving birth without even spacing them, not giving them a breathing space, come on, what are we doing to them?
Let's see. We will have entertainment, but I was hoping that we could just quickly activate the phone lines and see if we can take one or two calls. 0302-211-69-102, 0302-211-69-102. You might want to just pick two calls, maybe. Otherwise, we will probably go and pick entertainment and come back. But Erastus, absolutely good to see you. You are here for a while. So can we incorporate you into our show? It will be good. I'm sure it'll be good. Our Kumasi viewers would love to see you.
Why not? Yeah. Why not? You are the commander-in-chief, and if Roland admits, why not? We can have a show.
So unfortunately, I'm not sure that we'll be able to pick any phone calls now, but I promise you we'll have an interactive session, God willing, tomorrow here on the show. Erastus may just join us on the show. Erastus, welcome to, I see the phone ring, so maybe just one call because somebody has just called. We'll just pick that call and then we'll go quickly for entertainment. And then we'll wrap up. We're told that, you know, this whole video about the director of protocol and the president in that, whether it's a handshake that wasn't given, I understand there's another angle of that video. So we'll share with you before we wrap up. But let's take a phone call. Cecil? Is that Cecil? Oh, Seth. Seth, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, hi, Seth. Thanks for calling.
All right. My name, for contraceptives, I will encourage my wife to take it. Because sometimes in this modern world, man alone cannot cater for the family. You need the support from the woman. So giving birth every year or every 2 years is not good. So rather, I will look for the better place, take her to the place, for the expert to explain it to her, and then I will leave it to him, to her, to choose.
Okay. All right.
You get the point?
I get you, Seth.
Yes.
We love you. All the women love you this morning.
Yes, I will go on, research more into it, and then I will tell her my choice and ask her also choice. and then we decide and move on.
Okay, all right,
it's
Seth.
Good.
Yeah, all right, Seth. Thank you. We want to keep it real brief. We've got David. David, good morning. David from Blonhafo.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir. Thanks for calling. Let's hear you.
About the men that give a lot of, like, pressure their wives into giving birth plans. You know, some of them are actually in the remote areas of the country. I think they should one day be taken on a tour to come to big towns. Sometimes if they are challenged, they will forget about giving birth to a lot of babies.
Okay.
That's my idea.
All right. David, thank you so much for your idea. We'll have a longer conversation, God willing, tomorrow. But for now, we have to say thank you to Rastos. And then welcome Becky on the show with entertainment. So stay with us. Entertainment is up next.